No, man, no, I love, but look, I think Batman, I mean, Batman is a...
It's kind of crossing the beams
Right.
of Marvel and DC. And is the first one called Mr Wolff? Bonjour.
Bonjour Ben. Bonjour,
Bonjour.
John. Matt Damon came to South by Southwest for the premiere of the movie. John, are you jealous of this friendship he has with Ben? You know, this kind of unique.
No, man, no, I love, but look, it is such a thrill and an honor, you know, that both of these guys.
John's
are
worked
friends.
with Matt between the two movies. In fact, and Matt was telling me, that, relaying some of the conversations, which I won't repeat, but they were very funny, and had me laughing about his experience with John. And then they just did work together again. I don't know if that movie is allowed to be mentioned by name, but just recently. And so it's very much both Matt and I are like just massive fans of John in every way.
But look, if you look at, you know, it is incredibly cool. I mean, it is singular, you know, these guys and the relationship that they have, and they have this unbelievable company, and it's the greatest place to work, you know, in this business, and they're doing it right and for the right reasons, and with these incredible artists at the helm of it, and you know what they have and what they've built, and to see how much they mean to each other is, man, it's beautiful, and it gives me so much hope about this business.
Who would win between Batman and the Punisher if you guys fought when you were superheroes?
I think Batman. I mean, Batman is a.
It's kind of crossing the beams
Right.
of Marvel and DC, you know. Even though there's apparently infinite multiverses, it does not include a multiverse where characters owned by different studios across the stream.
That is impossible. Yes.
John's doing a Punisher movie that he was talking to me about that I think is going to be really, really interesting. You know, when you work with somebody as an actor who's great, that's really satisfying. There's a kind of level of understanding that, like, I feel John has as a filmmaker, that where he kind of sees the whole scene, and it allowed us to have different kinds of conversations about these scenes, and it's made me really looking forward to this Punisher movie that he's had a big hand in developing and putting together.
Yeah, look, I mean, and that's the thing. It's not just the movie star. You know, he's literally one of the greatest directors to ever make film, right? So he's sitting right next to you. He's also the head of the studio that you're working. He's like, what are you talking about?
Fuck is it?
Do you guys know what The Accountant 2 is called in France?
No, actually.
It's called Mr Wolff. Mr Wolff 2.
Is the first one called Mr Wolff?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's probably not an apt title because the movie's really, because of this amazing cast, and maybe the French have a lot of disdain for accountants. In America, accountants are a venerated class of people, the highest. In fact, when people think about doing their taxes, it gives them a deep and warm sense of happiness. But this movie should, I think, be called, you know, Brax and Christian, and, you know, of course, I mean, Cynthia and Daniela. I mean, we had such a wonderful cast.
So Ben, it's the first time you accept a sequel if we don't count the Batman movies. So why did you accept this one? Because I guess you've been offered many sequels in the past.
I think, yeah. Well, the reason I wanted to do this was, again, like Gavin, I had a great experience with. I really like him. He and Bill really wanted to build on the relationship with Brax, and this is an actor that I really admired. And when I worked with before, I thought, like, God, there's a lot here. I love this guy. It'd be really interesting and fun to do. And, you know, in some ways, that was enough. I mean, coupled with the fact that I feel this character and his emotional honesty is a really interesting thing to play, and I have a lot of affection for it. So I loved it. I would do as many as the audience is willing to tolerate.
FilmSactu, FilmSactu, FilmSactu.